conference previewing the Buffalo game on Saturday. If you kind of make an opening statement as you head into this week's game.
Yeah, thanks, Sean, and thanks everybody for being here. It's big game for us. Really great stretch here. Opening up conference play with really 4 straight MAC East opponents, and before we head into a little bit of a longer week before our next game, and finishing out this 4-game stretch here with Buffalo, who's a great football program. So many great players. Coached really well. Coach Linguist is doing a great job. Taking over this program, and see these guys really developing and growing within his program. And it's going to be a really great challenge for us. Both offensively, defensively, and special teams. They're big, they're physical, they play hard, they play aggressive. And it's going to be a great challenge for us, but one that we embrace, and that we're very excited about. Have an opportunity to be back at home this weekend, which is great, and be able to challenges to go out there and play four great quarters of football against this group.
Coach, in the telecast this past weekend, we did see DJ Irons and pads. Is there a possible switch at quarterback? What's kind of the quarterback situation? Who's going to be battling that out for this week?
Yeah, I think DJ became available to play late last week, so was able to practice a little bit on Friday, and really didn't feel great about putting him out there with limited reps, and was hopeful that we'd be able to just get him another week without contact, but he was ready to go, and should we have needed him, certainly would have gone in and expect him to play really well. But this week, getting healthy and getting all these guys reps, and gonna put the guy out there who gives us the best chance, to be successful, really in every situation. And if that means one guy starts, or maybe one guy comes in, here and there. I mean, it's all on the table, and I think it's a really good thing, for our program. The football in general, and I think specifically in this league, it really is a quarterback-driven league, and to have multiple players at that position that I think we can count on to go out there and play well is a really good advantage to have. So hopefully we'll have a great week at that position this week, and each of those guys will be ready to contribute in however they're asked to do that.
Talk a little bit about the receiving group that you have right now. Mumford making 10 catches with Gibson behind him. But there's a continuity thing between separating quarterbacks throughout the course of a game. Receiving group as a whole, how they're performing for you, and how do you get the running game kind of back involved in the game plan as well?
Yeah, no, absolutely. I think the wide receiver group has played well. I think they've performed well really all season long. They've created separation and made plays, against every team, that we've played against, and it's been really exciting to see those guys play, and I think we have a number of guys who can be dynamic players for us at that position, and who can get open, and who can catch the football and run with it after the catch, which has been great. We've had so much more production after the catch this season than we have ever had, and it's really important. It's really important to be able, as a quarterback, to be able to throw a 5-yard pass and have it turn into 20 or 30 or more, and we've done that multiple times, and that's a credit to those guys making plays within our offense. So that's been great. Look to hopefully have those guys continue to play at a high level, and I think as far as the running game goes, absolutely, that's a big area of focus for us, really on both sides of the ball, and then, particularly, defensively this week, Buffalo, it runs the ball with great effectiveness. Certainly a dominant rushing team. They have been for some time, and continue to be, despite the loss of their top rusher last year. They have 3 backs, right now that are, I think all high-level starters in this conference. So, and a very good offensive line and very good scheme. It's going to be a great challenge defensively to stop the run, and I think offensively, to be more consistent in the run game and to be effective, and efficient, in that area is going to be really important for us. And, I think that's an area, in the first two opportunities we've had to play against this group in particular where, we've come up a little bit short, has been in, defending the run and our ability to run it. So that is an emphasis for us this week. And, it's a little bit of a double-edged sword, defensively, because they do have such a, outstanding play action attack as well. Being really clean, in the back end, and having great eye discipline and really trusting our read and our keys and, is going to be really important, get the runs, to be able to come up and fit it, but also be able to stay on top of some of their play actions and shot plays.
From the offensive line standpoint, I know the last couple of telecasts they've talked about the youth of this Akron offensive line. And it's not trying to be an excuse they seem to be playing really well, but just talk about your offensive line and some of the changes you may have made over the last couple of weeks and how they're doing just as a whole as a unit.
Yeah, I do think they're really improving. I've seen so much growth in this group, particularly over the last few weeks, and I think it really starts at practice. I'd say, heading into the BG game, heading into last week's game against Miami, really saw the development, especially in pass protection. We protected really well, throughout the weeks at practice, and it was important for us because both Bowling Green and Miami have outstanding pass rushes, and it was a major priority for our program. Be able to protect the quarterback. Felt like if we could do that, we'd give ourselves a chance to be successful. And I thought we did a great job of that against BG and as well against Miami. They got to us 3 times, but I think I would have signed up for that. We got beat, just physically beat twice. And one we kind of held on to it a little bit too long. Those were our 3 sacks. Which was a big improvement over the first 2 years, playing against those guys. Areas, to continue to work on and improve on for sure. But we're definitely doing a much better job in pass protection. And I think even in the run game, just coming off the ball and finishing blocks, still got to focus on that. And but I do think it's better, and it really takes it's a combination of tight ends, offensive line, running backs, quarterbacks, making sure we're in the right play, to be able to run the ball with effectiveness, and we just need to be firing on all cylinders in that area, to be great, in the run game. So hopefully, continue to emphasize that and continue to improve in that area. But I think offensive line. I think we're definitely getting better and definitely playing that way on Saturdays.
Talk about switch over to the defense. Start with your linebacking group. Payne had a nice game this past weekend, forcing a fumble, multiple tackles, big hit on the quarterback. Talk about his leadership now because he's kind of stepped into your Bubba role with Bubba being out the past few weeks. So just talk about his play and what he brings to the table and kind of that group.
Yeah, I've been really impressed with what I've seen from Andrew, with these last couple of weeks. He's a young player as well. Really, a freshman for us, new to our program, and his ability to process information and coaching and being able to go out there and apply it, I think is what is most impressive to me. You see him able to translate individual to team reps at practice, to game day, and the things that he's being coached to do. You see it showing up on tape, and obviously that's the goal, but it's harder than it sounds. And Andrew's ability to do that, has been really impressive so far. Hopefully, he'll continue to get better and improve. But in his first couple of starts, I think he's really stepped up, and we've needed him to. Obviously missing Bubba, is big for our defense and for our team overall. And and certainly, Bubba continues to be an outstanding leader for us, and, hoping, to have him back sooner than later. But, in the time that he's been out, I think that entire group, whether it's Andrew, whether it's Jess Lord, Brandon Bischoff, Reggie Corner, hopefully he'll be back this week as well. Those guys have stepped up, and have done some good things in his absence. So, that's been exciting to see.
There always seems to be that one big kind of rushing play that team gets going back to the Ohio game. How does the defense stop that, either from a physical standpoint, from a mental standpoint, making sure that's not something that really affects them within the game?
Yeah, I think that's a big, it's a big area of emphasis for us, is, just really to limit those explosive plays. You're playing against good teams, they're going to make some big runs, they're going to hit a pass down the field, and that's okay, but, we've just allowed too many of them. And, and that's really where we've been hurt, where we've been hurt the most is just giving up big plays that, either lead to a score or result in a score themselves. So, limiting explosive plays is really important. And I think a lot of times it's, it's alignment, it's assignment, it's just, fundamentals of tackling, certain things like that. So just continuing to work on those things and, learn, how to play, in those situations, in those moments, is going to be important for us to get better in that area.
I'm going to ask you, it's been 3 weeks since you played at home. Since then, you won a game on the road. You always talk about growth. How has the team grown over the last 3 weeks since the last time they played here?
Yeah, I think, first of all, we're excited to get back home. I kind of joke around a lot about, being on the road. Like, I do like it. It is nice, to kind of have a little bit of that peace in the hotel. But again, having the opportunity to play at home, not worry about travel and, all of those things, and, be able to play in front of our fans and play at InfoCision Stadium is really, it really is special, for us. So, we're excited to get back home. And, I think that, in many areas, there's been a lot of progress, for us. And, we just got to keep building. We got to keep building. And I think, the area that is really important to me this week is in our consistency. Being able to, not play, a really good quarter or, a few good quarters, but to play 4 great quarters. To play our best, for 4 quarters is going to be really important. And I think it's, it's important, for our opponent as well. I think, you kind of look, watching their games, and they've had some quarters where, they've played outstanding football and, putting up 28 points in a quarter, and just extremely, dynamic and explosive, and, playing on both sides of the ball and in special teams, like, to contribute to that. And, and I think, like, we got to make sure that, we don't allow them to have, one of those types of quarters against us. And, what that takes is consistency, throughout the course of the game. So we're going to, really focus on that. And as I challenged our guys this morning, like, if we want to be consistent, like, by definition, it means you got to do it right, like, all the time. Like, you got to be consistent all the time, and you got to be consistent in everything that you do. And, like, starting out, like, we got 4 days of preparation. Like, we need to have 4 consistent days of work, if we want to go out there and play 4 great quarters. But it doesn't just end there. We want to be consistent. Like, we got to be consistent in football, but we also got to be consistent in the rest of our lives, and, in school and off the field. Like, we got to do the things that we're supposed to do, the way they're supposed to be done. And, I think that's always something that I always try to challenge our team with, is to be consistent. Like, just be the best you can be, like, in every situation, no matter what the circumstance is, no matter what the conditions are. Like, just give everything that you have, to whatever you're doing in the moment. And I think when we do that, and when we have that mindset, I think great success follows. So, really challenging our team, from that perspective, to have a consistent week, and to go out there and play, 4 consistent quarters of football, which is going to be very important for us.
Coach, again, thank you for your time. Look forward to the game Saturday against Buffalo at 3:30. Thank you.
Awesome. All right. Thank you, guys.